I'm Burdette Parks, and between 1983 and 2007, I did dozens of performances of Benjamin Franklin on the Pendragon stage. I'd like to share a little bit of that memory with you. My name is Benjamin Franklin. I was born in Boston. I'm a printer by profession. I've traveled a good deal, and I have no news. Well, maybe a little. You know, I love life. I find I become happier every day. Born poor and then rich, I have always been content with what I have, without thinking of what I have not. But since I have begun to age, I feel a well-being of mind and spirit that I never knew before, which is impossible to know as a youth. At that age, the spirit is exterior. At mine, it is interior. An old friend of mine, Richard Saunders, perhaps you remember him better as Poor Richard, from the Almanac. Well, he said there are three things extremely hard: steel, a diamond, and to know oneself. Well, I find it a difficult task to speak decently and properly of one's own conduct. But, as Poor Richard said too, though modesty is a virtue, bashfulness is a vice. Hereby I shall indulge the inclination so natural in old men, to be talking of themselves and their own past actions. But I shall indulge it without being tiresome to others, since you may listen or not, as you please. Just remember, blessed is he who expects nothing. He shall never be disappointed. Oh, and I may as well confess it, since my denial of it will be believed by nobody. I shall perhaps a good deal gratify my own vanity. Indeed, I scarce never hear or see the introductory words, "Without vanity may I say," but some vain thing immediately follows. Most people dislike vanity in others, whatever share they may have of it themselves. But I give it fair quarter wherever I meet with it. Well, I think it would not be altogether absurd if a man were to thank God for his vanity, among the other comforts of life. Oh, but we must take care not to let vanity run away with us. As Poor Richard says, he who falls in love with himself shall have no rivals. Oh, in looking back, how short the time seems. By living 12 years beyond David's period, I seem to have intruded myself into the company of posterity, when I ought to have been abed and asleep. But had I gone at 70, it would have cut off 12 of the most active years of my life. There are many sorrows in this life, but it appears to me that there are many more pleasures. Reflect how many of our duties it has naturally made to be pleasures. And to some, it has the further goodness of giving the name sin, so that we may enjoy them the more. People commonly talk of 10 commandments. Now, I have always been taught that there were 12. The first one is, increase and multiply and replenish the earth. And the 12th is a new commandment I give unto you, to love one another. Now it seems to me that these two are a little misplaced. The last ought to be first. But I've never made any argument about that. I've always been willing to obey them both whenever I had the opportunity. One of the hardest things about growing old is seeing so many of your friends die. Oh, but I don't feel that I grow any older. Being arrived at 70, I considered that by traveling further down that same road, I should probably be led to the grave. So I stopped short, turned around, and walked back again. Which, having done now these 12 years, you may call me 58. Well, advise old friends of yours to follow my example. Keep up your spirits, and that will keep up your bodies.